keep piling high. GOLDLAW's by your side. When insurance tries to run and hide, GOLDLAW will be your guide. After your wreck, when you're feeling the pain, GOLDLAW works to handle your claim. If you slip and fall, don't worry at all. Just remember who to call. Choose the twos. That's 5, 6, 1, 2, 2, 22.
Welcome to the Gold Standard Radio Show. I'm Craig Goldenfarb, your host and the founder of GOLDLAW. We've been a personal injury law firm in West Palm Beach for 25 years. This is the show where we spotlight the individuals and organizations making a real impact in our communities. Those who embody excellence, integrity, compassion, and the gold standard in everything they do. Every week we'll sit down with game changers, difference makers, and unsung heroes who are shaping the future of Palm Beach County and beyond. Whether it's through advocacy, innovation, or service, these are the people setting the bar high and showing us what it truly means to lead with purpose. So sit back, get inspired, and let's dive into the stories that define the gold standard.
You are listening to the Gold Standard Radio Show. This is Darius McDougall. I'll be standing in for Craig Goldenfarb this week, and I'm here with Tomas Coles-Reyes, the founder and CEO of Vets Place. Tomas, good morning.
Good morning, Darius.
Tomas, it's always great seeing you. I think I've known you now for over 10 years. It's been some time. It's been a pleasure.
Don't tell everybody my age now, but thank you. Yes, it's been a pleasure. 10 years and going strong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tomas, talk to us a little bit about Vets Place. Just give us a background for those who don't know what your organization's about. If you could just give us just a breakdown or an overview of the organization.
Okay, I think I can do that. Give a sense of why Vets Place came into view. I was in New York City in 1973. I returned home and didn't realize that I would end up being homeless. New York City had changed quite a bit, and unfortunately the services that should have been available to veterans returning home were not. I encountered 2 years of homelessness on the streets of New York City, and luckily there was a program that was coming into view that I did not know that was going to have such an impact on me that later on, that would end up, for me, becoming Vets Place. This program did address some of the primary pieces that I'm doing today, such as dealing with homelessness, also health care, and referrals to important agencies that address veterans' immediate needs. So that's how it started, and Vets Place originally was with the idea of providing permanent, affordable housing for veterans and their families. This is because most veterans would end up in transitional homes. Mm-hmm. And at some point, there was never anything to move them past the transitional piece. And even when that did happen, there was concerned about whether or not they would be able to afford a decent home, apartment, whatever it may be. Vets Place contracted with the VA Medical Center, and we were able to put together between funding and that contract to provide the first permanent affordable housing for veterans and their families in the city of West Palm Beach. And that was important because, number one, I don't believe in separating families. Yeah. So we kept the families together. We actually had the first female program, and we addressed a lot of concerns at that point.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about that women's program. I mean, that's a necessary item to have in an organization, especially when you're talking about vets. It's usually not common. I'm interested to learn more about that.
Well, first of all, most people, and depending on, I guess, what your age is, are not used to women being in the military, much less in combat positions. In looking at that, we have to understand that some individuals would end up having that female as the head of household.
Mm-hmm.
Vets Place encountered that by having the first female who was the veteran. The husband was a non-veteran, and she also had two males. That was an unusual situation. She was the power structure in the household, and we addressed those concerns and looking at her unique needs compared to the male that we usually encounter. And therefore, after looking at those unique needs, we realized that we needed to have a female program. Working with the VA Medical Center in West Palm, we put together a female program in another location, which would address, obviously, the female's homelessness, but also healthcare issues, which were unique, as well as the things that are typical to most females compared to males, and then, of course, childcare.
Sure.
And looking at their particular issues as far as employment is concerned, all those different things we put together into a program that was successful until as time when we were not able to sustain it due to funding.
Yes. When we look at this year, this is a standout year for a lot of different businesses. Why is this year especially important to Vets Place?
A lot of people don't know this, that Vets Place came back after, I guess it's 9 or 10 months now, due to some urgent needs that were, as I would say, were not being addressed in the community. One of the things that I feel that's important is that we need to take a look and be aware of the seniors, our senior veterans in the community, which is so important. With technology and medical advances, our veterans are living longer, such as myself. And we need to take a look at those unique needs that they need. One of the things that I have realized, aside from having in-home supports that are necessary for veterans, some of our veterans that were hit hard by the COVID situation and losing some valuable savings and having to make some adjustments, found themselves having to go back to work, Darius. Unfortunately, going back to work, what does that mean? That means that I used to work 30 years ago and I had maybe one job.
Sure.
And now I'm going back to a workplace that is totally unknown to me, which is even changed even more because obviously COVID changed the workplace for even people that are not ready to retire. But going back and finding out, okay, I have to be able to do multiple jobs. Yes. Technology, what is that? That's way out of my league. And understanding that the job I used to do does not exist anymore. Maybe it's a computer software that's doing it or whatever. So at that point, we decided that it was important to put something together for veterans who were seniors to get them ready for the workplace if they needed to go back to work.
Yeah, no, super valuable. When we talk about services and support, we touched upon your women's program, but what kind of help does Vets Place provide today holistically for our veterans?
Vets Place has always been about meeting a person where they're at. So looking at just a couple of points, mental health issues these days is a key point in the community.
Absolutely.
Maybe United States, and I feel, in a sense, it's been kind of downplayed. Maybe it doesn't always make the TV, radio, newspapers, or whatever, but mental health issues has always been key in my mind. I don't mind revealing the fact that I suffer from mental health issues myself, PTSD, panic disorder, that I went through from the military. The lines are long at the VA.
Absolutely.
Mental health issues are not something that can be addressed overnight, okay? Medication can't last forever. I know personally that being on medication for a long period of time can be a big strain on family members and marriages and things like that. It's difficult for a veteran to be able to move on and have a normal life being on a medication regimen.
Sure.
At some point, the frustration comes in. They're not able to get the help maybe they need because of the waiting.
Of course.
Maybe because of not being able to get the medication necessary. Maybe because they're not really addressing the issues with their therapist about what they went through, because that takes time. And because of all of those things, and of course life goes on, it continues, and then we have frustration and aggravation and various other things that they consider suicide as a option. Vets Place is working very strongly with Firewatch, which is a program that even yourself has. You went to the training.
Oh, yeah.
And we felt that was important, being able to recognize when an individual is identifying early on mental health issues, and being able to connect them to the proper resources in the community, which was a very important thing. And then, of course, looking at homelessness, which is always there wherever you go. There's always a conversation about homelessness. And I know it's not just about veterans, but we're talking about veterans today. And that's a big issue simply because today we are looking at a lot of reduction in programs. People get the idea that veterans are locked into benefits that will continue until the day they die, and that's not true. Veterans are a very vulnerable situation at the moment with the cutbacks currently and the not being sure whether or not we're going to receive certain things that are necessary. Case in point, a lot of veterans count on the subsidies that they receive from federal funds, housing assistance, which are called HUD-VASH. That's important because bottom line is a veteran who cannot work and is receiving maybe their assistance from the government, being that they are disabled, is not enough to get them past living independently in the community. So they need that subsidy to continue to help pay for their rent, and that may be in jeopardy as well. And then, of course, there are other medical issues that may be cut as well, certain programs or whatever that were keeping them independent in the community. And then, of course, there is the in-home supports. Which is commonly known most of the time as aid and attendant. That program is in jeopardy as well. And those keep the veteran in their homes, with just a home health aide coming in, maybe cooking a meal, cleaning the house up a little bit, maybe a little companionship. That's important. So these are key things that that Vets Place does to address that. We also have our employment training program. We address tech literacy, not only with the seniors in their daily lives, but as I mentioned before, about their employment, if they wanted to go back to employment. And we also put them into jobs if necessary, if we can find something for them. So we do interviewing skills and resume development and things like that. So, yeah.
No, super helpful. Absolutely big needs being met there. Talk to us a little bit about like a real life example, something that comes to mind, a veteran that the organization has recently helped, that really stands out to you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a veteran that came to us. Obviously, in this particular case, I shouldn't say obviously, but in this particular case, the individual was homeless. He went into a program that was in a community and was getting himself together. There are always stages for a veteran who was homeless and is now getting themselves back on their feet. A lot of people think, well, okay, all that individual needs is a job, and then they'll be able to go from there. But it's not that simple. This individual, yes, was given housing through grants or whatever, first month's rent, security, that kind of thing, moved into a decent dwelling. We even helped provide that individual with furnishings. The issue was that just like everyone else, that individual also wanted to help take care of their mother, who was in a nursing home. And they took some of their funding from their disability check or whatever, and help with the expenses for their mother in this nursing home. Unfortunately, some of our veterans do not have the best budgeting experience. So unfortunately, they got behind in their rent, and it was a conversation between the landlord and themselves about, well, I'm not leaving my mother without a place to live, even if that means I have to go back into homelessness. Well, Vets Place was able to take a look at the situation. We spoke with, obviously, the veteran, but we also spoke with that veteran's mother. We got a general idea of how we could support both of them. So by going over to the nursing home, we were able to make some adjustments to attach that individual into some benefits that could be expanded over to the mother. And then we spoke to that veteran who I found out that they were estranged from their brother, who I'm not going to get into a big thing, but unfortunately they needed to connect with family as well, not just with the mother. So we were able to have a conversation with the brother, and we were able to get that veteran into a much permanent situation, reunite the brother, and now help them with moving expenses. And now they are with the brother in a much nicer situation. They both go and visit their mother now, and I would probably say that it's an extremely happy ending. We are now working with the person to get them a part-time job as well.
Absolutely. You talked a lot about federal cuts and how federal support's been changing. Can we dive a little bit deeper into how that's affecting the veterans that you serve? Well,
you heard me mention about the HUD-VASH program. Most people are not aware of that terminology, but obviously the veteran who would have to go after some rental assistance would be aware of it. That program has been around for a very long period of time. It takes a look at the veteran's income and says, well, okay, we can allocate X amount of dollars towards that person's rent.
Sure.
Okay, so obviously looking at everything is not just about how much they can pay towards their rent on their own, but also living expenses, utilities, food, things like that. We like to also take a look at not just about the expenses that veterans need to live off of, but also a work-life balance, as we like to put it.
Sure.
Veterans are just like everybody else. We like to go to the movies, we, like to go skating and things like that. So we connect them to resources in the community to be able to do that. It's important because veterans tend to isolate, especially those who have mental health issues. But getting back to the HUD-VASH situation and the lack of possible funding for that, I'm going to say to people in the audience, if you know of any veteran that actually is getting some assistance from the federal government, you understand what it would mean if that was pulled. We would then have our veterans back on the streets again, okay? In a very dangerous situation, 65, 75-year-old veterans out here in the weather and other issues. And obviously, if we have addressed their health concerns, that's going to go down the toilet. So we're going to have a veteran as much in much worse situation. So one of the things that we need to do, and that's Vets Place, is to always look for funding to address that situation and help that veteran out wherever we can. It's always about a balancing act. We're always looking for funding. We're always looking for donations to help assist that situation. We're talking about a human being. We're talking about a person that may at some point be getting to the end of their life. Maybe they can't work because they're physically unable. We have veterans that have lost their limbs in the military. We have veterans that are too old to work. We all know that as we get older, there are issues that our bodies start shutting down as well as our minds. Yeah. So it's not about, go out and get a job. Those kinds of things. And then, of course, the aid and attendant type of program that would actually, there is a federal piece that's attached to that benefit for veterans, where a healthcare agency in the community can come in and help that veteran stay in their home. Okay, by maybe cooking a meal, maybe cleaning a little bit in their area, companionship. These things may end up going as well. So these are two important federal pieces that we need to look at and be concerned about if they go away.
Wow, that's powerful. How can the community really help protect and support senior veterans?
That's a good question. It's a hard question, but an easy question. Aside from, obviously, donations, support and looking at and listening to the radio, newspaper, or even this broadcast and understand what is happening to veterans out there and speaking to their government representatives, their senators, their congressmen, whoever, and making them aware that they support us and want to keep these programs alive. And of course, Vets Place always welcomes sponsors and also volunteers.
How can the audience begin to not only support but be part of Vets Place? Where do they go? How do they donate? What are the things that they can start doing? Well,
one of the things that they can do is they can go to our website, which is www.vetsplace.org. I want to remind people, because every once in a while somebody says, "Oh, are you a veterinarian service?" No, we are not. We are a veteran service organization.
Yes,
so again, that's www.vetsplace.org. You can go there, and it would show you how to become a sponsor, also how to become a volunteer. And one of the unique things that we have on our website is your ability to be able to donate to a particular program. So you can go there, you can click on the donation piece, and it will explain to you the different programs we have, and you can donate to that specific program.
Is there a good number that folks can call?
Yes. They can call area code 561-206-0599. That's our main number. And they can go straight, they can call us up. And by the way, 561-206-0599 is a call or text. So they can call or text. So if they even have questions, they can text. And they're going to get me directly. So they don't have to worry about, oh, maybe it's going to get caught up in anything. I get those texts directly, and I'll be glad to answer whatever question they may have.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thomas, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gold Standard. GOLDLAW is a proud supporter of Vets Place. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And to our audience, remember to rise and innovate. Thank you.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Gold Standard Radio Show. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing their incredible journey and for being a true beacon of excellence in our community. At GOLDLAW, we believe that when we lift others up, we all rise together. If you know someone in our community making a difference, someone who lives and breathes the gold standard, we want to hear about them. So please reach out, connect with us on social media, and let's continue celebrating the people who are shaping a brighter, stronger future for all of us in Palm Beach County. Until next time, I'm Craig Goldenfarb. So stay inspired, stay committed, and keep raising the gold standard.
Hello guys, this is TT, CEO of 40 Flavors Wings and More. If you love wings with big bursting flavor and even bigger vibe, then this is where you need to be. 47 incredible wing flavors, from classic buffalo and lemon pepper to exotic flavors you will not find anywhere else. Our sauces are made in-house. But it does not stop there. You have to try our crispy egg rolls, our tenders, our delicious fries with our 7 seasonings, and so much more. And please don't forget to quench your thirst with our famous handcrafted signature drinks. You will not be disappointed. When you step inside of 40 Flavors, Wings and More, you get more than just an amazing food. You get a whole vibe. We're all about great food, great music, and great people, of course. We do have R&B nights, old school throwbacks. It's just the perfect spot to chill, vibe, and eat good food and enjoy great people. So whether it's lunch, dinner, or late night cravings, we got you. So what are you waiting for? You guys pull up, bring your crew, bring your family, and taste the flavors that keeps everyone coming back. 40 Flavors Wings and More is where the food and the fire and the vibe is even hotter. Hope to see you all soon. And also, we are getting ready to start hosting brunch. You will not be disappointed. So come and see us. We're going to have your favorite chicken and waffles with signature flavors, fish and grits, shrimp and grits. It's going to be a blast. So I hope to see you all soon. You can find us at 6685 Lake Worth Road, right in the heart of Green Acres, or you can even call us at 561-432-9910, or you can follow us on our social media at 40 Flaves, or check out our full menu online at 40flavewings@gmail.com.